The lower the eyebrows, the more comfortable with touching and with being touched the person is. Is that right? How do you feel about touching? It's lovely to have a cuddle, isn't it? It's always appropriate to have a cuddle.
Exactly.
Yes, no. No.
That's the high eyebrow person.
No. Am I right? I mean, it's nice to choose who you cuddle with, right? But how do you feel about random people coming up and saying, this is just not appropriate, isn't it? I'm going to do you think you are. I just know. Now listen, because this is very important. You have 15 seconds, just 15 seconds to make a first impression. And if you blow this, you're going to be pushing it uphill for the rest of the time you're with that person. Before you introduce yourself, you take a moment to look and see how high their eyebrows are. And if they look like Paul, hello, darling, yes. Touching puts you on the same level as him. We're now connected. It's all good. Look at the lowbrow people going, yeah, it's true. You're comfortable with that? Lovely to meet you.
Me too.
Who's heard the term highbrow? Yeah, that's a common one here. People with high eyebrows, we've got the languaging already. We know about this subconsciously. People with high eyebrows, we like to be more at choice, don't we? We're more discerning. It's like we like to make the decision before you just jump right in. Now, once we've made the choice, well, that's a whole other thing, whereas touchy, huggy, feely is the next person, but the choice has to be ours. If you leapt on Linda, I don't think you'd like that, would you, darling? No. It's not going to make you popular. That doesn't mean she's snobby. It means that it's very important. The higher the person's eyebrows are, the more they like to stand back and observe before they jump right in. We like to make sure that things are safe enough and interesting enough before we put ourselves forward. Is that right?
100%.
Absolutely. Choice is very important. And it's quality rather than quantity, really, isn't it? See, people with high eyebrows, we tend to have fewer friends, but by crikey, the friends we've got, we're good mates with them. Oh, everybody's our mate, isn't that right? It's all, you can be very much more casual with a person who's got very low eyebrows. You can fart in front of the person who's got and they will laugh. If you do that over here, you can watch their eyebrows climb all the way back. That's away from me. It's not appropriate, really, is it? People with high eyebrows like to be more formal, especially when you're first meeting them, or second, or third, or fourth. We'll let you know when we want you to touch us. And when we've made that decision, well, now that's a different thing. Can you see how often we get a bloke like this with a woman like this, and how often that causes problems? Isn't that interesting? So, just take a little minute, darling, to observe the height of the eyebrows of the person that you want to launch yourself at before you do it. He's not a mongrel because he can't keep his hands to himself. He's got a different structure. And it makes him very happy when he feels accepted. He feels, all right now, we're on the same wavelength when you touch him. And she, is that true? And she feels respected, and like you're on the same wavelength with her when you let her make the first move. Thank you very much.
Okay.
It's important. It's important to be a bit more formal, isn't it, especially in public? Yes. We'll decide about the public displays of affection. May or may not happen. I'll make the choice though. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Can you see how much trouble lowbrows get into all the time? And why? The trait of the lowbrow is the lower the eyebrows, the more the person is focused on specifics. They want to move right in onto whatever is interesting to them and physically touch it and check it out.
You know me too well already.
You've got low eyebrows. I know all of you all too well already. Which is why you're here. Okay? This is across the board. Think about it. If you've got low eyebrows, how important is it to you if you've seen something interesting, you want to touch it, don't you? How else are you going to figure it out unless you've had a little bit of a fondle? You don't always have to fondle, do we? We can stand back and observe it. Let's have a look. And then, when we're ready, and if it's interesting enough, we'll move in. Is that right? True. Yeah. Very different ways of being. Very different ways of relating in the world. Does that make sense? Right. So take a breath.